So they want to cut everything from family care to prenatal care to child nutrition. It's like the Republicans in Congress are saying you can't prevent an unwanted child. You can't get care if you do get pregnant, and we won't give you any help feeding the kid after it's born.
Do you have a condom?
Yeah.
No! Sorry, you can't use those.
What are you talking about? Who are you?
I'm your Republican congressman. Now that we're in charge, we're banning birth control.
This is our decision, not yours. Get out of our bedroom.
I won the last election. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to watch and make sure you don't do anything illegal.
For abortions would be limited to cases resulting from what they call forcible rape, which could possibly exclude rapes where women have been drugged, or women with limited mental capacity, or statutory rape or raped. Classy.
It's been over 2 weeks since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, and there's been violence, protests, political drama, but there's been one particular story that caught the nation's attention. It appeared in the Indianapolis Star newspaper back on July 1st. Quote, Dr. Caitlin Bernard, an Indianapolis obstetrician gynecologist, took a call from a colleague, a child abuse doctor in Ohio. Hours after the Supreme Court action, the Buckeye State had outlawed any abortion after 6 weeks.
Hallelujah! It's about time.
But those 2 minutes when that skull is crowning, your baby's the most precious thing on earth.
I want to talk about the continuing saga in Ohio of this poor doctor who saved a 10-year-old girl's life.
One network has transformed, re-envisioned, and reinvented the way news is done.
Fox is the dominant force in broadcast news today.
We're the only network that's telling the truth right now.
It's the only place you can feel good about your country.
10-year-old girl was raped and was pregnant with her rapist's baby. There's nothing more despicable than that. And she was now unable to end her pregnancy in the state of Ohio. So according to the report, that's where Dr. Caitlin Bernard steps in. Since Indiana had yet to change their abortion laws, the girl could still end her pregnancy if she crossed state lines. Her doctor got in contact with Bernard, and the 10-year-old was apparently driven across state lines, and her pregnancy was ended by Bernard in Indiana.
In shopping centers and malls and places where women are already doing their grocery shopping, picking up Starbucks, living their daily lives, and stopping off for an abortion.
Some of them aren't even pregnant. They just, it's just so damn convenient.
The story quickly took hold all across the globe. Headlines, home and abroad, highlighted the tragic situation occurring, and it wasn't long before it became the focus of cable news.
Technically true, also known as true.
It is hard to imagine anything more cruel, more disturbing than forcing a child, a 10-year-old still playing with fidget toys and tablets, to carry her father or her brother's child to term, or forcing her to travel across state lines for an abortion. And yet, here we are.
Ohio has outlawed abortion after 6 weeks. So the child will now have to travel to Indiana to get the procedure. And this case is putting the spotlight on America post Roe v. Wade.
Republicans are finally closing the glaring rape loophole in our healthcare system. You'd be surprised how many drugged, underaged, or mentally handicapped young women have been gaming the system.
A 10-year-old rape victim, that is a child.
Once the media ran with it, it became a central part of the West Wing's talking point.
This isn't some imagined horror. It's already happening. Just last week, it was reported that a 10-year-old girl was a rape victim in Ohio. 10 years old. And she was forced to have to travel out of the state to Indiana to seek to terminate the presidency and maybe save her life.
Sorry, ladies, the free abortion ride is over.
To the point of the 10-year-old girl that we've been hearing so much about. We have, I believe, 12 states in our country that right now will not even allow an exception in their ban on abortion, will not even allow an exception for rape or incest.
The liberal media then shoved this story in the faces of pro-life Republican governors.
The Indianapolis Star is reporting that a 10-year-old girl in Ohio who was 6 weeks and 3 days pregnant now has to travel across state lines to Indiana to receive an abortion. Will the state of South Dakota, going forward, force a 10-year-old in that very same situation to have a baby?
Kristen, the notion of limiting forcible rape, all rape is by definition forcible. It's
John, I'm not comfortable with that word. All?
Newsy's Mara Suriani is here with more on how many people, including conservative lawmakers and right-wing media, doubted the validity of this horrific story. Mara.
Jay, this has really played out over the past week. This case is drawing lots of attention and some scrutiny as well. But the facts are medical records show Dr. Caitlin Bernard in Indianapolis correctly reported that abortion procedure on the child on July 2nd. That was 2 days after it was performed.
In an Ohio courtroom.
The charge is rape, felony of the first degree.
In truth, there's a whole rainbow of rape covering a wide spectrum of gray areas, like statutory rape.
You might learn something as opposed to just having your worldview reinforced.
We give you both sides. We give you all the stuff. We're simply better than the opposition.
We keep kicking their ass every day in the ratings.
Number one, that's...
Now, of course, everybody said this whole thing was bullshit, just made up crap from the libtards. But no. That dude did that shit. In fact, he raped a 10-year-old girl twice.
A judge charging the 27-year-old Columbus man after police say he confessed to raping a 10-year-old girl on at least 2 occasions.
Should she have to have a child? Should she have to have that baby?
Every single life is precious for the
And
mother.
you would be okay with that, a 10-year-old girl having to have a baby?
No, I'm never okay with that. In fact, that story will keep me up at night. It absolutely will.
So will you...
Obviously, this is a heartbreaking story. And Governor Noem touches on a pretty good point. Why isn't anybody talking about bringing the child rapist to justice? So Primetime decided to investigate this alleged child rape. But we quickly found out that authorities in Ohio haven't even begun a criminal investigation into the rape. This doesn't make any sense. No one reported this child rape to law enforcement?
See? There's rape and there's rape, okay? It's just rape-esque. And should it be covered? Only rape.
We haven't found any evidence that this child rape was reported to law enforcement or any child welfare system. I called Ohio Governor Mike DeWine's office, and they couldn't find any evidence of investigation or charges being filed anywhere in their state. So we followed up with the state attorney general's office, and they too have yet to find any record on the matter.
Only rape is covered. What other non-rape-based abortions would be covered, or not be covered, I should say?
Well,
then we called all of the abortion clinics in Ohio to see if they filed a police report about a 10-year-old being raped. None of the abortion providers in Ohio could provide any useful information.
Give me a hypothetical.
Are drunk women who are raped covered?
Well, were they dressed slutty? Was it a bachelorette party?
Story of a sexual abuser roaming free, assaulting 10-year-olds would raise quite a few concerns in small-town Ohio. But no one seems to be doing anything about it. No one even knows anything about it. Local media outlets aren't even alerting the public there's a monster on the loose.
What, does it matter?
Yes! Because that determines what is rape and what is merely rape-ish. And I don't think hard-earned tax dollars should go to women who have only been rapished.
The 10-year-old rape victim was taken to a hospital in Indianapolis for abortion care after Ohio banned abortions after 6 weeks following the U.S. Supreme Court's overturning of Roe v. Wade. Police in Columbus say the young girl was raped in early May. The arrest and subsequent charges quieting a firestorm of doubt over the validity of details surrounding the horrific crime.
I know our prosecutors and cops in this state. There's not one of them that wouldn't be turning over every rock in their jurisdiction if they had the slightest hint that this had occurred.
Last Monday, Ohio's Republican Attorney General Dave Yost raised serious doubts the crime even happened, and he wasn't alone. Among Republican lawmakers being called out for their comments in a since-deleted tweet, Congressman Jim Jordan also claimed the story was a lie.
Republicans talk all the time about how they want to save the children. Oh, we got to save the children. We must save the children. They don't give a damn about a 10-year-old girl who was raped. Hell, they deny that she exists.
And from what we can find, no local newspaper or TV station picked up the story. The only source for this entire story is Dr. Caitlin Bernard, the abortion doctor in Indiana. Bernard ran quickly to the cameras last week.
You have a 10-year-old rape victim who cannot get these services anymore in Ohio. What does it feel like on your end of that phone call?
It's incredibly difficult. We need to be able to provide this care for everyone, for every single person that we get a call about from any state. How long do we have to push it, and how close we're going to get to the brink of death for patients needing abortion care.
Wow, that's so pro-life, even if it kills you. But what if you're date raped? What if you're raped by a friend?
That's classified now as rape with benefits.
Seems like if, all of these Republicans really cared about pedophilia, if they really cared about the children, wouldn't they go after the church? Because there is nobody in history that has raped more children than the church.
By the way, Hollywood, if you're looking for your next big romantic comedy, you can't do any better than that.
Now, Indiana law also requires someone like Dr. Bernard to report child rape to law enforcement, but we can't find any evidence that she did that there. In fact, Bernard has a history of not reporting abuse cases to the police, which will...
What if the woman is unconscious?
Well,
What would they cover that?
They'd like to, John, but it might not be rape. The woman might be having a rape mare.
Minneapolis Star released one of the most viral stories of the summer, a story that's been seized on by the President of the United States, and now they're running and hiding.
The important thing is Congress is redefining rape to protect us from the worst kind of rape.
What and what is that?
Money rape.
The reality is Republicans don't care about children. Republicans care about votes. Look in the damn comments in any of my videos. How many times have I personally been called a pedophile? But actual pedophiles, they're fine with that. As long as they vote Republican, they're fine with that.
What is money rape?
That's forcible taking of taxpayers' money to pay for abortions. They have no say in the matter. They just have to lay back and take it while their bank accounts are violated over and over and over again.
Our buddy Bro actually issued a correction for reporting that happened over 100 years ago. So it's not like Bro doesn't do corrections, he does. The newspaper, their editor, and their reporter have all gone dark. Is that the kind of behavior of people who stand by their reporting?
How much money are we even talking about here?
Well, in 2006 alone, federal funds helped pay for 191 abortions for victims of rape, incest, or when the health of the mother is at risk. So that works out to...
And what about the abortion doctor, Caitlin Bernard? And what about the fact that there is not a single police report? Are you telling me no one's trying to arrest a child rapist in Ohio? Because I know Ohio, and they don't tolerate that there.
0.2 of a penny per taxpayer.
Kristen, people's taxes go towards things they don't believe in all the time.
So where do we stand? If there's a 10-year-old child abuser out there on the streets of Ohio, he needs to be brought to justice. And if so-called doctors are covering up child rape, they need to be prosecuted.
I didn't support the Iraq War, but my taxes still helped pay for it.
That's war.
Really? Because I really thought that might have just been war-ish.
But if this horrific story isn't accurate, and the abortion doctor and the Indianapolis Star are misleading us, and the mainstream media and the President of the United States seizing on another hoax, then this is absolutely shameful and fits a pretty dangerous pattern of politically timed disinformation.
Jon, there's no such thing as war-ish. You're not making sense. Clearly, you've been traumatized by years of money rape.
The abortion issue's not over, y'all. Something has got to be done. Step one, kick out the Republicans.
Look, I know it hurts, but it's okay to talk about it.
Kristen, I'm fine. It just doesn't.
Okay? Show me on the piggy bank where Obama took your money for abortion.
Kristen, I didn't.
Here?
Listen, everything's gonna be okay, right? Just let me do the talking, okay? Just.
Evening, ladies. License, please. Where are you headed?
We're just out for a drive.
Headed to the border?
Oh, no. We were just going up to the.
Hey there. What's your name?
Grace.
Are you pregnant, Grace? Step out of the vehicle.
She does not have to.
Yes, she does.
No.
Show me your hands on the wheels, please. Grace, step out of the vehicle. On the wheel.
Grace, it's okay.
No, I didn't. No.
Did he drill a hole back here?
No. All right. Thank you very much. Kristen Schaal, everybody.
Thank God for outlets like Fox News.
Thank God for Fox News.
Thank God Fox News is on it. Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God.
God bless Fox News.
He clearly already has.
Step two, re-elect Joe Biden. I'm Zachariah, Lone Star Liberal. Y'all take it easy.